There was a time when protecting what mattered was simple. You built a wall, you locked the gate, you posted guards, and the enemy had to cross a field to reach you. You could see them coming from miles away. You had time to prepare. Today, it's different. The siege doesn't arrive with war drums or marching boots. It arrives while you're sitting at your desk, while you're sipping your coffee, while you're trying to work, to read, to think. It arrives in the form of a phone buzzing in your pocket, a friend just checking in, a headline screaming for your attention, a video that turns into 10 more, an email marked urgent that's not urgent at all. They don't come with battering rams anymore. They come with endless distractions, and every one of them chips away at your walls, little by little, brick by brick, until you realize your fortress has no real defenses left. And here's the dangerous part. It doesn't feel like an attack. It feels like life. It feels normal. It feels harmless to open just one notification, to check one feed, to answer one more message. But what you're really doing is leaving the gate wide open, letting anyone and anything march right into your mind. And once they're inside, they don't just wander around politely. They rearrange the furniture, they change the colors on the walls, they tell you what matters and what doesn't. They start building their own fortress inside yours, one that doesn't serve you. The ancient Stoics warned about this long before. Smartphones, they didn't call it focus, they called it guarding your mind, because to them, the mind was the command center of life. Lose control of it, and you lose control of everything else. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But here's the thing. That power isn't just about thinking positive or being mindful. It's about building defenses strong enough to keep the wrong things out and letting the right things in. Right now, the truth is hard to swallow. We live in a time where your focus is worth more to the world than your money. Because if they control your attention, they can control your choices. And if they control your choices, they can control your life. This is the battle you're in, whether you realize it or not. And every day you either strengthen the walls around your focus or you let them crumble. The siege has already begun. The question is, will you be ready when they come for your gates? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most fortresses don't fall because the enemy outside was too strong. They fall because someone inside opened the gate, because the guards got lazy, because the people inside were distracted by feasts and music. While the walls were being climbed, your focus works the same way. It's not always the massive crisis that destroys your ability to think deeply. It's the slow drip of little compromises that just 5 more minutes on social media. I'll answer this now so it's out of the way. I'll get back to the important stuff later. Until one day, later never comes. And here's the scary part. The world is designed to make you that kind of guard, lazy, reactive, and always responding to whatever shouts loudest. Because every click, every scroll, every tap is money in someone else's pocket. Your distraction is profitable. And the more distracted you are, the easier you are to control. Think about it. Every time you get pulled away from your work, your book, your thinking time, you don't just lose those few seconds. You lose the depth you were building. You lose the thread of the problem you were solving. You lose the clarity you were sharpening. It's like walking away from the gate while the enemy is right outside. By the time you run back, they're already inside. The Stoics understood this trap. Epictetus warned that if you don't decide what's important in your life, the world will decide for you, and it will not choose in your favor. That's why they treated the mind like sacred ground. You don't just let anyone walk in. They must be tested. They must be worthy. They must serve the mission of the fortress. So here's the first principle to remember if you want to protect your focus like a fortress. You cannot outsource the role of gatekeeper. You are the gatekeeper. You are the commander. And if you fail at that role, nothing else will stand. And if you're ready to go even deeper into building a mind so strong that no distraction can breach it, then hit subscribe right now. Because over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to build the walls, train the guards, and defend your focus. Even when the world tries to break in, every fortress starts with one thing: a wall, a line that says, "This is where my world ends and everything else begins." Without that line, there is no fortress, there's just open ground. Anyone can walk in, anything can demand your attention, and you'll have no defense. In the battle for your focus, That wall is called ruthless boundaries, not polite boundaries, not I'll try boundaries, but the kind that make it impossible for distractions to casually stroll into your mind. And here's why they matter. Your attention is like water. It flows to the lowest point unless you direct it. Without boundaries, it seeps into every crack, filling everyone else's priorities while starving your own. The Stoics were masters of boundaries. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal that he would be like the headland against which the waves break, unshaken, unmoved. And this wasn't because he had some magical ability to ignore the noise of the Roman Empire. It was because he built his life in a way that made distraction expensive to get to him. So what does that look like for you? It means setting clear rules for how and when the world can reach you, turning off all non-essential notifications, not just muting them, but removing them entirely. It means creating sacred hours in your day, times when your phone is not just silent, it's out of sight, in another room, maybe even off. It means telling people in your life, when I'm working from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., that time belongs to my mission. Unless the house is on fire, don't break the wall. And here's the key. You enforce that boundary every single time, because if you let one distraction slip through, you've opened a crack in the wall, and the enemy only needs one crack. You might think this is extreme, but here's the reality. The world has no problem being extreme in trying to get your attention. Algorithms don't stop. Ads don't stop. People's requests don't stop. If you don't respond with equal intensity, you've already lost. Building the first wall is not about cutting yourself off from life. It's about deciding which parts of life are worth letting in. The fortress is not there to keep everything out. It's there to protect what's most important inside. Ask yourself, right now, what is the first boundary I'm going to enforce, starting today, without negotiation? Pick it, write it down, and make it law in your fortress, because until that first wall is up, everything else you build will fall. The first wall keeps most of the noise out. But let's be real, some things will still slip past. A call from a friend, a breaking news headline, that one urgent email you think you have to read right now. That's why every fortress needs an inner gate, a second point of control, a checkpoint that decides, does this even deserve to enter my mind? You see, most people don't realize it, but your attention has two stages of defense. The outer wall is your environment and boundaries. The inner gate is your judgment, your ability to pause and ask, is this important enough to spend my focus on? The Stoics lived by this principle. Epictetus taught that you can't control events, but you can control your opinion of them. In modern life, that means the world will constantly try to throw urgent things at you, but urgency is often a trap, a false fire alarm designed to pull you away from what matters. Here's the problem. Without an inner gate, you react to everything that crosses your path. Your brain becomes a public hallway. Any random thought, message, or drama can walk in, kick its feet up, and steal your energy. The solution? You make every distraction earn its place. You treat your attention like a VIP club, and the bouncer at the door is a single, powerful question. Will this matter a week from now? If the answer is no, it doesn't get in. If the answer is maybe, it waits. If the answer is yes, you still decide when it gets in, on your terms, not the world's. Practical ways to enforce the inner gate. Delay the response. If something feels urgent, give it a cooling off period. Most emergencies solve themselves or reveal they weren't emergencies at all. Information fasting. Just because news exists doesn't mean it belongs in your head right now. Ask for proof. When someone says something requires immediate attention, ask for clarity. Why now? What happens if it waits until tomorrow? This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about refusing to let reality shove its way into your fortress uninvited. Think of it like this. Every thought you let in is a guest. Some guests clean up after themselves, others trash the place. The inner gate decides who gets a key. Build your first wall, then stand firm at your inner gate. Because once you master the art of controlling what gets in, you're no longer a victim of the world's noise. You're the one choosing the soundtrack to your own life. Here's the truth. No matter how strong your outer wall, no matter how vigilant your inner gate, if you are the only guard on duty 24/7, you will burn out. And when you burn out, the world doesn't politely wait for you to recover. It rushes in like floodwater. That's why the smartest fortresses aren't defended by tired, overworked guards. They have systems, automated defenses, structures that keep things running even when the commander takes a nap. In the realm of focus, systems are your habits and routines. They're the invisible hands that keep distractions at bay without you having to fight them consciously, every single time. Think about it. When you brush your teeth in the morning, you don't debate whether you should or shouldn't. It's automatic. You just do it. Now imagine if protecting your focus was the same way. Imagine if you didn't have to think about shutting off notifications or putting your phone in another room or starting your day with your most important task, because it all happened by default. Here's why this matters. Willpower is a weak guard. It can be bribed by temptation. It gets tired after long shifts. But a system? It doesn't care about mood. It doesn't argue. It just runs. Let's make this practical. Examples of self-sustaining focus systems. 1. Time blocking. Pre-schedule your day so your important work already has a protected time slot. The world can't steal hours that are already spoken for. 2. Device separation. Keep a work device that has no social media apps and a personal device for entertainment. This eliminates 90% of temptation. 3. Focus rituals. Create a repeatable sequence that signals deep work mode. Maybe it's making tea, putting on noise-canceling headphones, and playing the same instrumental playlist. 4. Environment rules. Decide that certain places are only for certain activities. If your desk is only for work, sitting there automatically triggers focus. 5. End-of-day reset. Before closing shop, set your space for tomorrow's most important task. You start the next day already pointed in the right direction. The magic of systems is that they compound. At first, they feel clunky, but over time, they run on autopilot. And every minute you don't spend fighting distractions is energy you can use for creating, solving, and building. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up wondering whether he should journal or reflect. He had a rhythm, and that rhythm shaped his mind. In modern life, rhythm is the antidote to chaos. So, build your fortress walls, guard your inner gate. Then let systems do the heavy lifting, because the best defenders of your focus are the ones that never get tired. Up until now, we've been talking about defending your focus from the outside. The noise, the demands, the digital sirens singing you away from your work. But here's the uncomfortable truth, and it stings. Sometimes, the invader doesn't climb the wall. Sometimes, you open the gate, invite them in, and offer them tea. Self-sabotage is the most dangerous breach, because it's silent. It doesn't come with warning horns or clashing swords. It slips in wearing the uniform of harmless habits and necessary breaks. And before you know it, your most productive hours are gone. Let's call these what they are. Internal assassins. 1. The just 5 minutes lie. You sit down to work. You tell yourself, let me just check Instagram for 5 minutes. You blink. 45 minutes are gone. Your mental energy is scattered, and the task you should be doing now feels twice as hard. 2. The perfectionist spy. It pretends to be your ally. It tells you, we can't start until it's perfect. But perfectionism is procrastination in armor. It keeps you preparing forever instead of actually doing the work. 3. The multitasking mole. You think you're being efficient, answering emails while drafting that proposal. But what you're really doing is splitting your attention into tiny, useless fragments. Your brain isn't juggling. It's dropping balls left and right. 4. The self-doubt saboteur. It whispers, you're not ready. So you delay, you tweak, you avoid, and the work that could have been done today never sees the light. If this is hitting something in you, don't forget to subscribe so you can get videos like this constantly. Let's continue. Here's the cruel irony. When the enemy is outside your walls, you can see them. You know they're a threat. But when the enemy is you rationalize, you defend your own sabotage. You say things like, I deserve a little break, or I'm just researching, and it feels reasonable. The Stoics warned about this centuries ago. Seneca wrote that we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Translated to our battle for focus, most of our lost time is not stolen by others. It's surrendered by us. So, how do you fight the enemy within? Awareness is step 1. Catch yourself in the act. Name the assassin. Here's the just 5 minutes lie again. Once named, you rob it of invisibility. Step 2 is replacing the habit with a better ritual. Instead of just checking your phone, stand up, stretch, and take a real 5-minute walk. Instead of chasing perfect, commit to ugly first drafts. Instead of multitasking, protect a single task like a sacred ceremony. And here's the most powerful defense. Forgive yourself quickly, because guilt is another saboteur. It keeps you stuck in the past instead of getting back to the present. The truth is, you are both the defender and the potential traitor in your fortress. Master yourself, and no enemy, inside or out, can take your focus from you. Every fortress, no matter how tall the walls or how sharp the defenses, has one constant enemy: exhaustion. You can win every battle in the morning. You can fend off distractions, silence your phone, and guard your attention like a hawk. But if you let fatigue creep in, by evening, your focus will be nothing more than a tattered flag flapping in the wind. Here's the thing about fatigue. It doesn't strike suddenly like a raid. It's a slow siege, one that chips away at your mental strength minute by minute. And by the time you notice, your decision-making is sloppy, your discipline is soft, and your best intentions lie scattered like broken arrows. Mental energy is a finite resource. Every decision you make, every temptation you resist, every problem you solve, it all costs energy. This is why you might wake up determined to work out after work, but by 7 p.m., you're on the couch, eating snacks you swore you wouldn't touch. The willpower you had in the morning was spent long before sunset. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. But even a rock weathers over time if it never rests. So the question is, how do you fight the war of fatigue? 1. Prioritize your peak hours. Your fortress is strongest in the morning. Before the day's battles begin, do the most important, mentally demanding work first. Don't waste your prime energy on trivial emails or small tasks. They may feel productive, but they drain the strength you need for the real fight. 2. Defend your energy like your time. Distraction steals time, but fatigue steals quality. Set boundaries around your rest. Not just sleep at night, but short pauses during the day. A soldier who never rests collapses faster than one who retreats strategically. 3. Simplify decisions. Every small choice, what to wear, what to eat, which tab to click, burns energy. Automate the little things. Create systems. Make your routine so predictable that your mind saves its strength for battles that matter. 4. Don't overarm yourself. We often think more tools, more resources, more apps will help, but every new thing you add is another weight to carry. Fatigue doesn't just come from doing too much. It comes from thinking about too much. And here's the hard truth. Once fatigue takes over, no amount of motivation will save you. Discipline crumbles when your mental reserves are gone. You'll make excuses, you'll settle for good enough, and you'll convince yourself you'll try again tomorrow. But tomorrow's strength depends on today's preservation. The key is not to avoid fatigue entirely. That's impossible. The key is to pace yourself, to withdraw before you're completely drained, to rest like a warrior who knows another battle is coming. Guard your energy, and you won't just win the morning. You'll hold the fortress until the stars come out. No fortress survives long if it relies on one tired guard. Even the strongest soldier eventually needs backup. And the truth is, your focus will fall if you try to defend it entirely on willpower. That's where fortress allies come in. They are the systems, people, and habits that protect you when your own strength is running low. They fight beside you, shield you, and sometimes even fight for you. Think about it. Even the Roman legions didn't send warriors to the front without formations. They had shields that locked together. They had scouts to spot threats early. They had engineers to keep the walls strong. Your mind is no different. If you want to sustain focus for years, not just days, you need an army of reinforcements. 1. Systems. The unseen guards. A well-designed system removes the need for constant vigilance. For example, if your phone tempts you, don't just try to resist. Lock it in another room during deep work. If email constantly pulls you in, set automatic filters and check at fixed times. If you struggle to start tasks, use a checklist so you never have to figure out what to do next in the moment. A good system acts like an archer on the wall, striking distractions before they even reach you. It's not glamorous, but it's relentless. Sometimes, knowing someone will ask about your progress is enough to keep you on track. Other times, You'll need someone to step in when you've been staring at a problem for too long. Choose your garrison carefully. One distracted soldier can open the gates to chaos. 3. Habits, the unbreakable rhythm. If systems are the guards and people are the garrison, habits are the fortress's heartbeat. They make discipline automatic. When you habitually start writing at 7 a.m., you don't waste energy deciding when to start. When you habitually wind down at 9 p.m., your body naturally readies itself for rest. Habits protect you from the exhaustion of constant choice, and the more automatic your key behaviors become, the harder it is for distractions to break through. 4. Tools, the specialized weapons. Every fortress has its weapons, tools that give its defenders an edge. For you, that might be noise-canceling headphones, an app that blocks websites, or a whiteboard to visualize your next steps. The key is not to have more tools, but the right ones. A sword you never swing is just extra weight. Here's the bottom line. No warrior wins a long war alone. When your systems handle the small battles, when your allies share the weight, when your habits fight without asking for permission, you can focus your energy on the battles that truly matter. The fortress doesn't stand because of one guard's heroics. It stands because every ally, seen and unseen, plays their part. Guard your gates, but never forget to strengthen your army. Every fortress, no matter how strong, will face a breach. It's not a question of if, only when. Maybe it's an unexpected message that pulls you into a 2-hour conversation. Maybe it's a quick social media check that somehow turns into an evening scroll marathon. Or maybe it's simply your own mind slipping into daydreams when it was supposed to be laser-focused. Here's the truth. Getting distracted isn't the real danger. Staying distracted is. A siege breaker's job isn't to make you invincible. It's to make sure the damage is short-lived. When the enemy gets past the walls, here's how you take back control quickly. 1. The interrupt signal. Stop the bleed. You can't regain focus if you don't first stop the distraction from growing. That means having an instant snap-out signal. It could be standing up immediately, closing your laptop, saying out loud, "Not now." The signal should be physical or verbal, something that jolts you out of autopilot. Think of it as slamming the inner gates shut before the invaders flood deeper. 2. The reset ritual. Clear the battlefield. Once you've stopped the distraction, you need to reset your mental state. This could be as simple as taking 3 deep breaths, stretching for 30 seconds, splashing cold water on your face. The goal isn't just to calm down. It's to erase the momentum of the distraction. If you try to jump straight back into deep work without resetting, your mind will still be tethered to the thing that pulled you away. 3. The 2-minute recovery rule. Start small, win fast. When you've been pulled off track, don't try to jump back in at full intensity. Begin with a small, easy action related to your main task. If you were writing, maybe just open the document and write 1 sentence. If you were coding, maybe just fix 1 small bug. Momentum rebuilds faster when you start small, and small wins shrink the mental gap between distracted and productive. 4. The siege debrief. Learn the weak spot. Every breach is a lesson. Ask yourself, what exactly triggered this? Was it predictable? How could I have intercepted it earlier? This isn't about guilt. It's about turning each breach into data. Over time, these notes help you reinforce your weakest points. 5. The forgiveness clause. Don't burn the fortress. Some people lose hours not because of the distraction itself, but because they waste time beating themselves up about it. You don't need to be flawless. You need to be relentless. The siege breakers know this. Every moment you spend on regret is another moment the invaders keep control. Forgive fast, recover faster. Every battle needs a closing ceremony, not just for the soldiers, but for the commander's mind. Without it, you finish your day like an army that wins a war but leaves the gates open overnight. Your mind stays restless. You keep replaying what could have been done better. And tomorrow begins with the same tension you never fully let go of. Victory rituals are how warriors of focus protect their momentum. They're not just habits. They're signals to the mind. The mission is done, and it was done well. When you have that kind of closure, you sleep like a soldier who knows the watchtowers are manned. A victory ritual starts with recognition, not the fake, forced positivity of patting yourself on the back for any little thing, but an honest acknowledgement of the wins you fought for that day. It might be that you finally finished that project you'd been dragging for weeks, or that you didn't give in to the easy escape of distraction when things got tough. Even on bad days, there's at least one small stand you made, and claiming it matters, because discipline without acknowledgement turns into silent exhaustion. Then comes the release. Warriors don't carry the weight of one battle into the next. They set it down. For you, that might mean closing every tab, physically cleaning your desk, or taking a short walk to let your body tell your brain, it's over for now. Without that release, your focus muscles never fully recover. You stay in half readiness, alert but fatigued, and over time, that kills sharpness. The last piece is the renewal. It's not about diving straight into the next mission. It's about doing something that makes tomorrow's focus easier. Maybe that's writing down your top 3 priorities for the next day so you wake up without decision fatigue. Maybe it's prepping the files, tools, or environment you'll need so there's no friction when you start. Or maybe it's just sitting in quiet for a few minutes, letting your mind reset to neutral. Renewal is about storing energy before the next march. People often underestimate these rituals because they seem small compared to the actual work. But here's the truth. It's not the battle that burns you out. It's the endless carrying of unfinished mental weight. Victory rituals cut that chain. They turn each day into a complete arc, a story that has a beginning, middle, and an end. And when you master that, you don't just win days, you win weeks, months, years. Because you're not just disciplined in action, you're disciplined in closure. The march to victory doesn't end when the drums go silent. It ends when you take that first deliberate step into the next dawn, carrying nothing but the strength you've built and the clarity you've earned. By now, you've fought distractions like enemies. You've defended your mental gates. You've learned to wield focus like a blade, not swinging wildly, but cutting with precision. Each lesson has been a weapon, each day of discipline a shield. And yet, the final march isn't about swinging harder. It's about walking forward with steadiness, because battles are won in bursts, but wars are won in the relentless, rhythmic steps that never break pace. The temptation after a victory is to loosen your grip, to say, "I've done enough, I deserve to drift." But warriors, know that the moment you drift is the moment the enemy regains ground. And here, the enemy is not a person. It's complacency. It's the subtle whisper that says tomorrow will take care of itself. It's the soft seat that feels more comfortable than the march. This is why the final march matters. It's the quiet discipline of beginning again before the applause has faded. You take inventory, not just of what worked, but of what needs to be sharpened. A true commander doesn't only celebrate. They prepare. They leave the battlefield already thinking about the next terrain. They study the weather, the routes, the weak points, not out of paranoia, but out of respect for the fight. The final march is also where you realign your compass. Without it, you risk marching fast but in the wrong direction. It's pausing just long enough to ask, what is the next necessary thing? Not the most exciting thing, not the thing that gets the most praise, but the necessary thing, the thing that will keep the mission alive and moving. And here's the part most people miss. The final march is not heavy. It's not a slog. It's a stride fueled by the knowledge that you have already endured and grown stronger. It's a pace that feels like inevitability. Because the man or woman who keeps marching after the victory is the one who turns a single win into a legacy. When the sun rises tomorrow, you won't be the same person who started this journey. Your focus is sharper. Your resolve is thicker. Your discipline is no longer a shaky decision. It's your natural state. And as you take that step into the next day, you'll know the truth most people never see. The war is not against time, nor against the world. It's against the slow decay of your own will. And as long as you keep marching, that war will never defeat you. The grand wars make headlines in the heart. The loud victories are easy to celebrate. But the battles that truly decide your fate, they happen in silence, behind closed eyes, in the still moments where no one is watching. These are the unseen battles, the ones fought not with swords and shields, but with whispers. The whisper that says, skip it just this once. The whisper that says, you're tired, no one will notice. The whisper that says, it's fine, you've done enough. You've heard it. It doesn't shout, it doesn't strike, it seeps. And if you let it, it will erode the strongest foundation. Without a single earthquake, The unseen battles are fought at 5 a.m. when the alarm cuts through the dark. It's fought at 10 p.m. when you're tempted to scroll instead of sleep. It's fought in the middle of a project when your focus begins to fade and your mind looks for escape routes. And because these battles are quiet, they are easier to lose without knowing. No one calls you out. No one posts about it. You just feel weaker the next day and the day after, until you wake up wondering where your strength went. Winning unseen battles requires more than motivation. It requires a pre-made decision, a decision that says, when this moment comes, I already know what I will do. You don't wait to feel ready. You don't bargain with the whisper. You act, even when every part of you wants to delay. Here's the truth. The unseen battles will always come, no matter how disciplined you are, no matter how long you've been in the fight. They adapt. They come at new angles. They learn your weak spots, which means you must evolve too. Your armor must be stronger than yesterday's. Your reflexes sharper than last month's. Your commitment deeper than last year's. You'll notice something when you start winning them. Your confidence grows quietly, not the loud, chest-beating kind, but the calm certainty that you cannot be swayed by small temptations. You'll walk into the day knowing you've already proven yourself before the sun rose. And this kind of strength? It radiates into everything. It changes how you work, how you lead, how you carry yourself in the world. The unseen battles will never go away, but that's not a curse. It's a gift, because each one is a chance to fortify yourself, to build an unshakable core, to walk through life with the kind of discipline that doesn't just win wars. It prevents them from even starting. And when people ask how you became so steady, you'll smile. Because they'll never know the wars you've fought in silence and won. One day, your hands will lay still, your voice will go quiet, your name will pass through fewer lips, and the world will move on without asking for permission. It sounds cold, but it's the truth. And yet, this truth carries a choice. What will remain when you're gone? A faint memory, or a trail so deep it pulls others forward long after you've left. The legacy of the disciplined is not built in a year. It's not a product of one shining moment. It's built in the relentless repetition of small acts done with intention every early morning, every task done well when no one is checking, every temptation resisted, every battle won in silence. Over time, these moments harden into a foundation that can't be shaken. Not by gossip, not by circumstance, not even by death, because your work, your example, your life, they ripple, and ripples travel farther than you'll ever see. The undisciplined leave behind flashes, but the disciplined leave behind fire. Fire that lights paths for others, fire that burns away excuses, fire that whispers to the next generation. Stand firm, even when it's hard, because this is how great things are built. And here's the quiet truth. Most people won't tell you they're watching you. They won't announce you've inspired them. But your discipline will plant seeds in places you'll never visit. It will outlive you. And that is immortality. So the question is no longer, will you be remembered? The question is, what will they remember you for? Every day, you are writing the answer with your choices, with your habits, with your battles. Don't just aim to win today. Aim to build something worth leaving behind. And if this series has lit something in you, if you felt that spark grow into a steady flame, then don't let it fade here. Because discipline isn't a one-time lesson. It's a lifelong sharpening. That's why I share more tools, stories, and hard truths every week. So if you're ready to keep your edge sharp, subscribe, not for me, but for the future you. The one who will one day look back and thank you for never letting the fire go out.